Villano,
What up, mi gente? What's
partner in
good?
crime. Yeah, took a little break out here, but we are back. A lot of shit did go down. Um, but while we were gone, we got in a little religious debacle with some fundamentalist Christian wacko on social media, so it was
I couldn't
hilarious.
believe that shit. That you were
Bro,
actually getting calls from that motherfucker. Like,
it
whoa,
wasn't a call from him. It's just random
just
religious
random.
people.
But see, that has to be like he gave your number to somebody type shit.
Oh, something happened.
You know what I'm saying?
But my number's
I
not
mean,
even. Oh, beer. Yeah.
Brewski.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is that like there's no access to my number. Like,
Then how did they happen? It can't be
I
random. It
bet
can't
you,
be random.
I bet you like
It's not
there's some
because
bots that like look at these people's Twitter activity. They're talking shit about religion, and then these mega church call centers fucking flood. I don't know. Yeah,
that's crazy.
that's my
Crazy.
theory.
I don't know, man. But if like I don't know. The other day, I was debating not debating, but just like, oh, we were going in on that religious dude and Twitter and everything, and it's just like, damn, these people got shit for brains, man, for real,
Yeah, dog.
no lie. But
I would say like when you believe in a religion, you have a faction of your brain. Like I don't know what part it is in your brain, but the faction of deductive reasoning
yeah.
is non-existent.
Yeah, because you're actually you forego critical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's spooky, man, and it's even worse when you talk about politics and you're talking about like
Yeah, it's like if you're like you're there's something that that physically speaking has no effect on your life, and you're allowing that to dictate things that have a physical
yeah
effect on your life.
on other people's lives, especially if we're talking politics, and
Yeah,
and that's like the whole framework of like even Ronnie the Rat DeSantis doing his little rage regulation shit.
I love
It's
that.
all it,
It's
it's
like,
all
do we have to just anger Republicans to get regulation? Yes.
no
Yeah.
the irony of it is that like the irony of it is that those regulations should have been levied upon fucking Disney a while
A
ago.
while ago.
But at the same time, like in the minutia of it, like if it really goes through, it's really gonna just like forgive 2 billion in debt that Disney owes the state.
Yeah.
That's what it'll do. But it is something that's very like something like this should have happened when they didn't like want to raise wages or when they were union busting and shit like that. Like that's when this kind of regulation should have come in. But no, it comes in because like my bigotry.
Well, I think what like this is like, listen, we're not gonna let you stir up the fire of this homophobia in the law. Like people have the right to be homophobic, but you can't do that to the law. I think that's where Disney's putting
I guess so.
its foot down. But the thing is that let me tell you what's gonna happen with this "Don't Say Gay" bill. You want to hear what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen?
Nothing. People will go to school and everything will be the fucking same. You know why? Because how do you implement that? Someone has two dads. You can't be like, oh, you can't say that he has two dads. You can't. It's impossible.
Well, the thing is
that this isn't California. This isn't Oregon where people are like, all right, like people are talking about it way too much. Actually,
here's what it's gonna do. Here's what this legislation is gonna do. This legislation is gonna empower the Karens, male and females, Karens, okay, and kids who know that their parents are Karens, and that might have some kind of like, oh, that teacher's flunking me or fuck that motherfucker because he's learned how to be homophobic too. Especially when we're talking about like in higher grades, middle school, high school. It's gonna become this thing where people are just gonna be empowered to say, I didn't like that, so here we go.
I didn't like learning about that, so.
And it's gonna be a situation where with the little kids, it's gonna look, man. It really has the potential to be just as much of a clusterfuck as the Texas abortion ban, abortion law.
But this Karen parenting, you have to. This started when I was a kid. Because I remember,
Karen's always existed.
I would go to school. I went to one of these like bullshit Catholic schools. Like it was like fucking fake private school. You know, the parents would go in And if they argued enough, the teacher would just change the grade.
Of course.
Like that's not life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I mean, it's very stupid, and the fact that Disney is kind of like listening to their employees in the sense of,
and half the Disney channels get,
you know what I'm saying?
they have to.
Yeah, but the whole reason, the thing is that that Disney's going against this because they were actually prompted by their employees that want them to go against it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like the power of like, of working in a collective because
Probably
Disney doesn't give a fuck at the end of the day if these bills. I mean, as a corporation, they don't give three fucks.
They're worried about their staff.
Yeah, but since it is something that's coming about from within, then they do have to pay attention to it. So yeah, you got Ricky the Rat out here, fucking Ricky the Rat versus Mickey the Mouse. It's incredible, man.
Mickey the Mouse is no mouse, though.
No, he's just sharp.
No mouse. Yeah. But what's it called? I mean, Ron DeSantis. Do you think he's gonna run?
Yeah.
I don't think he'll run.
In 2024, I think so.
No, I think he'll be Trump's VP.
I think he'll run and then he'll bow down to Trump and be his VP.
Yeah.
But he'll definitely run. He'll definitely throw his hat in there. You know what I'm saying? And
well, what if? Hold on. What if he runs against Trump, right? And Trump says horrible, like he did to Ted Cruz, makes fun of him, right? And then you see Ron DeSantis be his VP.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
No
Ron
one
DeSantis is gonna.
No one will give a fuck because Kamala Harris was out there telling Joe Biden straight up that he's responsible for the crime bill. He used to be cool with Strom Thurmond, all that shit in the debate stage, and guess who's his VP? You know?
Yeah, no, I mean,
you
don't have to go that far. You could just see what happened in 2016. Trump totally humiliated all his adversaries, and they were all trying to be his VP.
Yeah,
every single one of them.
Chris Christie was the first, but Chris Christie didn't stand a chance. But his father prosecuted. He prosecuted Jared Kushner's dad, so he was an idiot for that one.
But he insulted everybody. He found a way to be able to rise above the rest. With insults, with humiliation.
Which is amazing, bro.
Which is amazing. And they still wanted to be his VP. Every single one of them. So I predict the same thing happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Ron DeSantis is gonna throw his hat in the race. Pence is gonna throw his hat in the race.
You think Pence will run?
Yeah.
You think Pence will run for president?
Yeah, he's starting to clear that path.
I think you know what I think? I think Pence is gonna. You're never gonna hear about Mike Pence ever again. I think Pence is done.
Let's see.
Because he's such a boring milquetoast guy. Like, trust me, both sides don't like boring and milquetoast unless you're a centrist cuck.
He is, but he is, and even though he
knows centrist cuck, he's far right, but milquetoast far right. They don't want milquetoast, the far right.
That's the thing, that he's not bankrolled by the far right. He's bankrolled
I don't even see him getting a donor.
Evangelical far right.
Yeah, that it's one different faction, but I don't even see him getting donor money from any corporations like Trump.
I mean, he's getting it right now.
He's
getting money right now, and he's out there. He might not be one of the top fundraisers, but he's out here getting money.
You know who's going to be
a bunch of people.
You know who's going to be the top fundraiser if they run? You know who's going to be the top fundraiser if they run for president?
I mean, Trump already is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, not counting corporations.
Who then?
Our guy.
Marjorie T. Oh, who? Bernie?
Oh,
of course. Yeah. No, of course.
No. This is a point I want to make. All right. This is something because I know the Young Turks is on that screen, but I gotta say something bad about the Young Turks for a second.
Go ahead, say everything bad you want. I'm with it.
You know how the legal limit is $2,500 for a person, right? But corporations themselves don't count as people. So that's why instead of people giving individual donations, now they just do it in the name of a corporation. Like McCain-Feingold, it limited the max amount people could give, $2,500, which is all Bernie Sanders allows. You're not allowed to give more than $2,500. AOC, you're not allowed to give more than $2,500. They play,
Yeah, I've heard about it.
But that's when people started becoming corporations started being treated as people. And all right, Cenk donated $25,000
To who?
to Nina Turner. Great, I love Nina Turner.
Yeah.
But isn't that kind of like breaking the law? Like,
It's not breaking
if
the law.
it's him, because it's over 2,500, and then the thing is that, like, all right, say the Young Turks gave 25,000, yeah, but that's going against the very law that you're like, this is all we have until we get a 28th Amendment.
Yeah,
you know, isn't
He's
it
doing
seem kind of?
It is. It
Like-
is a sort of like hypocrisy, but at the same time,
we need to get
kind
Nina
of like
Turner in there. You know,
we need to use the rules of the game. And I know it sounds weird, but we do need to use the current rules of the game to be able to make them work to our favor.
we need to be like Republicans.
You know what I mean? To a certain extent.
Litigate and loophole the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
And when it seems impossible because it's such a terrible law to litigate and loophole.
Yeah.
You call Alan Dershowitz. Yeah.
No, but I mean, there's no doubt that it does seem kind of funny. It's like when I see like what is it, Vapor Shark VPN or something.
Oh yeah.
They promote their shows on like far right shows, and they promote on regular shows too. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me,
I think they stopped doing that. The Young Turks. They don't do that anymore.
Well, I'm just using it as an example.
Yeah, they used to do that rampant when they had NordVPN and Nord was in Steven Crowder's show or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like it's one of those things that it's like, well, it's there, and you know, you gotta use it to your advantage while you can, and you know, it just is what it is. I don't know. I feel kind of conflicted about the whole.
It's conflicted because like we do need Nina Turner.
We do need it, but at the end of the day, if this is a step towards changing that in the future, then maybe it's a good idea to use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great. But Bernie, they're talking about him running again.
I think it's too early to speculate. Even with the whole thing of like even Ron DeSantis. The thing is that Ron DeSantis is doing way more than Pence, but even to like for me to speculate that Pence is going to run and everything, it's too far out. So Bernie, for us to say Bernie is gonna maybe run is like a mental masturbation type shit.
You think so?
Yeah, because
I'm excited.
especially for us. That we want this motherfucker to be president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know why? Because it's not a poll that he's losing to Trump in. Like, he's the guy.
No, he's the guy, bro. Anything.
Yo, you know
anything that man says, it makes sense. And it just doesn't make sense on purpose. These people say that it doesn't make sense. And I'm talking about the media, you know. Because they're paid to go against it. You know what I'm saying?
Americans have become such a victim of, like, publicity, advertisement. Oh, excuse me, buddy. Yeah.
He's excited.
Yeah.
I can give him a treat.
The
fuck?
Yeah. But Americans have become such like victims of like perpetual like hypnosis from advertising, publicity,
propaganda.
That they were presented with two options.
Yeah.
A real populist who had a consistent record, you know, but wasn't showy, media, and then the fake actor populist who was buddies with the people that he said he was going to get rid of.
Yeah.
And they couldn't tell the difference because Americans just watch too much TV.
Yeah, it's not a decision that they made on their own. It's definitely manipulated.
Yeah, it's perplexed because like people just became worse and worse at deductive reasoning.
And, you know, it happened to me last night. Like I had an actual debate at my studio. Like an artist and a producer came to work, and we fell into the rabbit hole. And it just the last hour. About Trump, about politics.
Oh, they were Trumpers?
Oh, big time.
Oh, no.
Latino rappers. Like, Latino...
Talking about the trenches. They're like, you know what? They're like, it's the Democrats' fault for these trenches. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You know, I was so surprised because I would go at them with, like, Bernie ideas without branding them Bernie ideas. And they would be, like, agreeing with shit.
Where were they from?
One is Cuban and one is Puerto Rican.
Of course. No. Of course, bro. Because, when it comes to Cubans voting for Trump, like, the base
Yeah.
Like there's a base in that. There's
yeah.
partly racism.
Oh yeah.
Yo, they just hate black people. They will
Latinos are very racist.
And then it's them thinking they're better than the other immigrants because it's Cubans thinking they're better than all the other immigrants because they didn't have to go through all the same process and the silent and all and all that shit. Because it's harder for all of the other people to immigrate here and it's easiest for them.
Yeah. That definitely plays a big role into it. There's other factors, and talking to them was like kind of like realizing that this cult shit is real. Like this MAGA cult is real.
Yo, but they were always super Republican.
No, yeah, they were.
Let me tell you though about Cubans though in Europe, bro. I'm telling you, when my grandpa when he was sick, the nurse, because in Italy the nurse comes to your house. They have checkups if you want, like every year. If you're a senior citizen, the doctor goes to your house if you want.
Right.
With the machines and everything in a Sprinter van. It's fire, right? And it's all free.
Okay. I'll pay for by taxes.
Yeah. Taxing the fuck out of rich people.
Yeah, no, and it's not, free,
and people are
free at the point of service.
Yeah, and there's still tons of billionaires in Italy. Don't get this wrong, all right?
Sure.
But they're just not allowed legally to donate to campaigns.
Right.
Or their companies. This campaign donations are illegal unless you're a person.
So the nurse was Cuban that came to see you?
Yeah, and like I've known other Cubans too in Italy from my camp when I was a kid, and they straight up hate the Cubans in Miami. They blame the Cubans in Miami for
what's going on in Cuba.
In Cuba, they say before, with Batista, it was a capitalist mafia state. They left Cuba to feel superior.
Yeah.
It's like, damn,
And they'll never bring that up when it comes.
And it's like there's an understanding.
Castro is. They'll never go back to.
There's an understanding.
Batista. They'll even say we were better under Batista.
Yo, they say...
Don't say that shit.
No, they were better under Batista. We have to say. But the thing is, Castro is what happens when you have a fascist movement. It allows room for a fake populist to manipulate and become a brutal... It's happening in almost every situation.
Right.
That's why, because, communist has always resulted in near dictatorship or dictatorship because of the character of someone who isn't a real populist.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened with Castro. But people have to be desperate to get to that fucking point. I mean, look what happened with Trump, bro. The fake populists came because people were fucking desperate. They were willing to just throw a brick to the establishment window. I mean, the same shit happened here.
A lot of it was also guided, in my opinion, and just to get off this, this Cuban thing.
Too many people watching.
The government in the United States during the whole time of the Castro thing and Batista thing, they exacerbated. Is that what? Exacerbated the situations that led up to Batista coming to power, obviously, and then the Castro coming to power as well, because before the...
It was a capitalist mafia.
Yeah. But Castro, to a certain extent, was also funded in the beginning by capitalists here in Miami.
Why do you think Miami is the way it is? Look how business is done in Miami. It's totally reflective.
Yeah. It is.
It is totally reflective. That's why I always say, if Dade County became its own country, you know what would happen? It would become Cuba. It would become Cuba.
Cuba under Batista.
It would become Cuba. It would be Cuba under Batista at first, and then there would be a Castro that comes in that. Or it would be just come a super oligarchical society at one point because of all the people that got rich by it.
I definitely believe that because there's too much money in Miami. But going back to the whole thing I was telling you about the MAGA cult, it is just you can talk to these people and in certain ways that they will understand you, but and even agree with the premise of everybody needing help and like shit like that. But once you say something about Trump, it's on.
It's on.
And listen, you cannot say anything to these people negative about Trump because guess what? You can't talk about my daddy like that. That's their attitude.
Oh man,
it's like you can't talk about my daddy like that. What's wrong? Like that's their attitude.
Remember, Marjorie Taylor Greene grabbed the crotch of a Trump cutout cardboard.
That's like
it's culty.
What's up with that mentality of like needing that daddy to look up to like that is fucking
I want
Weird,
freedom unless this man tells me what to do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
unless he tells me I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I love like this idea. Like they're always like, we need more freedom, more cops. It's like you do know that means less freedom. Like they don't.
Yeah.
It's just.
Well, what's the next? What's next on the agenda?
Well, we got them lifting the mask mandate mid-flight.
Oh God, that was so. That and that's just so stupid. I mean,
I don't know. I'm right. I'm down with it.
if you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask.
Yeah. Let me tell you, at this point.
But if I'm gonna, if you do see people wearing a mask, respect their shit. If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. But if you see somebody wearing it, because I will most definitely keep on wearing my mask on airplanes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'm vaccinated.
Oh, yeah.
Triple vax.
I'm triple vax too. I'm still wearing that shit. I'm not wearing. I'm not. Fuck
in
that
New York,
shit.
in the subway, there's like really no mask mandate. I'm good.
If I'm gonna get into a crowd of people,
for
that long a time, that I have to breathe their fucking air, I'm definitely wearing my mask.
G shit, like, if only like 10, like say there way less people were vaxxed, I would probably be like, I'd probably wear my mask. But
it's just that there's no downside.
There's no downside. I'm just being a pussy, bro.
I'm
the softest guy ever.
And there is many, and there are benefits to wearing it.
I'm being a crab. There really is no downside for real. You know.
It's just that you know what. Recently, went to Mexico with my wife, and we spent the weekend there. And out there, it's like everybody wears a mask everywhere.
Yeah, they're not American.
Yeah, there's no. It's not a political debate. The whole mask thing. It's like, yeah, you don't wear it, you die. That's just as easy as.
Yo no quiero ser malao, you know what I mean?
You know. But yeah, there is dissent. There are people that you know, they go on the idea that the vaccines are bad and blah blah blah. But it's not a thing like people here going carrying over masks. You don't see that over there. Everywhere you go, listen, people like they don't even let you go into a place unless the person at the door gives you fucking.
Yo, how many in person throughout the whole pandemic? How many Karen masks things have you seen in person?
Whew. In person, maybe like 2.
Yeah, same. I've seen like 2.
The thing is that Miami is very
it's
like
lax.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
if you walk in without a mask, nobody gonna say shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you go to a blue state or a blue district, you're gonna see it a whole lot more. You know, you would have seen it a whole lot more now because it's even the blue states are starting to act like the pandemic is done with. It's not. The deaths are low and hospitalizations are low, but shit is still real.
Well, there's like in Shanghai right now, they're having an outbreak. You know, it's pretty bad.
So it's out there. It's not like it's done. It's just that, bro, Americans are so fucking stupid. Like just that whole like manipulation and ideology shit is just like, God, people, get a fucking clue. Like, if you don't wear a mask, you die. Nobody's trying to fuck. Liberty, give me liberty, but give me more cops.
I mean, it's not. I feel like no, not for the mask. I feel like that you could say that for the vaccine. You don't get the vaccine, you get sick, and you can die.
I mean, one thing leads to another, bro. If you don't got the mask on, if you don't got the mask on and you're not vaccinated,
yeah, but don't forget, 99% of people in the hospital were unvaxxed. So like that vaccine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like.
So
those people who are vaccinated are way more likely to not want to wear a mask and not wear a mask
when
than
I heard
people that are.
When I seen that, I said, I'm triple vaxxed. With the 1.000111, I'm like, I'm more likely to die. Fucking just.
But that's my point. It's like you're vaxxed. You're more likely to wear a mask when required than people who are unvaxxed.
Yeah.
What's their attitude every time people tell them to get put on their mask? It's not a coincidence that they don't have the vaccine. It goes hand in hand, like the anti-vax and the anti-mask. It just goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way around that shit. And like out there, it's like you don't see it in Colombia. My cousins tell me that they don't see that divide like there is here. Like out there, either you follow the rules, or you just don't get service, and that's it. You don't need, you can't
I
even go to a supermarket
Yo, I ain't going front.
without that shit.
I was militant, like militant with the mask, bro. For when, like, I put the mask on everywhere.
Yeah,
and then
too. Till I got triple vax, I'm like,
yeah, and then triple vax, bro. I started just walking into bars, no mask, like just no problem.
Me too. No, me too. And it's a risk, let me tell you, because we can still get sick, and there
We
is
could,
such
but
thing,
we're not gonna end up in the hospital.
right. There is such thing as long COVID. That shit is a real deal.
You could be Jair Bolsonaro and catch that thing fucking
Yo, that
4
motherfucker.
times.
That motherfucker probably has the antidote in his blood.
Yeah.
That motherfucker has
Nah,
got sick so many times.
I think he can catch it a 5th time. But
I don't know, bro. I don't know, but for a strong man,
that's not very strong.
it's not very strong.
It's not.
He's just gotten sick so many times, like damn. And the thing is that he has all that money and all that influence, and he's the president, so he's gonna get those good vitamins and shit that presidents get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That Joe Rogan got.
Fuck Joe Rogan, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, that guy's so annoying, bro.
Bro, I used to like his shit when he had people that knew shit about dinosaurs and the Anunnaki.
Yeah,
shit. I used to love that shit. And then he started with his back shit. I'm like, yo, he has a
fucking moron.
He has a
bro.
jello brain, an ape brain.
Bro, I wish he had jello brain. That motherfucker has like ash brain.
He's a dumb guy, though.
Bro, he's just like, that's like the epitome of having money and not needing to not wanting to know more about anything else.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I love Joe Rogan. He's like, he'll talk about his guests, what regular people do, and it's like, how would you know what regular?
Yeah, no, he thinks he knows.
You know what's crazy?
Look, he hasn't been a regular person in a bit.
And 10, you know how you know he hasn't been a regular person in a while? Because his stand-up went.
Sure.
His stand-up is not good.
I've seen his stand-up.
It's not that funny.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
He has some moments, but it's not like entertaining type shit. No. It's a task to watch it.
It's a task to watch Joe Rogan. Like, the old shit, I was like, it's okay.
I mean, even back in the day, he was never like the only reason I really knew about him was because of Fear Factor, and then because he was on the MMA shit. But when he would say, "Oh, he's a comedian," I was like,
not that funny.
I know, not even not that funny. I ain't never checked him. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even know.
He's got like 2 Netflix specials, but
I've seen that. I've tried to sit
his
through
guests.
They're whack.
They're whack. But his guest comedians, I feel like they're all hilarious. All of them.
I mean, sometimes he got good guests because he's a cultural icon. He's gonna get everybody to want to sit down. But at the end of the
whenever
day,
he has a Tom Segura.
Okay, so he had that conversation with Mike Tyson. Did you see that one? Did you catch any of it?
The Joe Rogan?
Yeah, the last one, the one he just did with Tyson.
No.
It's like, it's interesting to talk about, like, or to hear certain stories, but it's just like, what else do you want to know about these people? What else can these people say to offer you some insight? There's nothing there.
Nothing.
Bro.
But, comedians are just entertaining, bro.
Right,
comedians, you just have a good time listening to it.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's like...
But I miss the Anunnaki guy. I miss the dinosaur. I miss the Anunnaki guy. I miss the fucking dinosaur guys he used to have. I miss, the space guys. I miss like... Dude, one of my favorite episodes of Joe Rogan is this dinosaur guy. And he's just like... Bro, he's talking about how, like... all of his money is from donors to do like excavations and shit, and he has to work 3 jobs, but he has to also excavate and organize closing down roads in the middle of Los Angeles because they think they found the fossil of a 23 million old like whale.
Right.
Yo, this shit is wild, bro.
Oh, sounds dope. I mean, shit. Sounds dope.
And then, I love. You know who else I like? Yo, don't get mad because this dude's he's a conspiracy theorist.
I do like Alex Jones.
No. Eddie Bravo.
Eddie Bravo. Not interesting.
He's a stupid right-winger, but like he's people like the earth is flat people, and just listen to this guy go in a rant, and it's like...
I don't know. I don't, I'll catch the clips. I won't sit down to that.
I like listening to, I believe none of them, of course. Except for, like, the only one I might be semi-convinced on is the moon landing.
I don't like that one. I don't think.
You don't think it was filmed in a studio? It looks really weird, the video, but I think
They went to
actually
space
landed.
in the '60s. What the fuck you expect it to look like? You want it to look like shit like now? Is that what you want it to look like? They went to the moon in the '60s.
Shit, I feel like they actually went, but there's
You
a
know what I'm saying?
possibility that they could have filmed footage for the people.
It's possible.
I think
mean,
they went though.
Yeah, I think they went. It's not. I think that they might have run into something over there that maybe even isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Like
what? Like what? Like what?
I don't know.
You think so?
I think they might have realized like there's nothing here for us to do. We've reached what we want to reach. There's literally
we got here before the Russians.
Yeah, we can literally put all this money that we would put into this into donors' pockets.
Yeah.
No, we can literally. Yeah, no, I believe that they maybe sent those dudes out there and collectively the government decided there's nothing for us there. Like there's
unless you're Newt Gingrich,
you know
like we're gonna colonize the moon.
Yeah, my dick. You know what I'm saying, Newt Gingrich. Fucking. So maybe it's that, but being in space and all that, it's like they kind of need to have a hand in that because these whole satellite technologies and shit like that needs to be maintained. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, going to space is important.
Space Force was actually a thing. I was like, one Trump.
So stupid.
It's not. No, like we do
stupid.
We do need a Space Force though. You don't think so?
No, I don't see that at all. I think that we need better funding for NASA.
That's definitely true.
we don't need another branch of the government. You know what I'm saying? Of military. Like,
bro, you don't think that the other countries are gonna engage in space warfare? They're gonna have missiles from space.
I mean, maybe. I mean, yeah.
Absolutely. They're gonna be able to use computers. They're gonna be able to control a satellite.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean,
so they're gonna have to. I feel like Space Force though shouldn't be like. It's not gonna be physical people into space. It's gonna be people here with computers that are,
I mean, yeah.
That's my when I picture we need a Space Force. That's what I'm picturing.
I thought the Air Force was already that was kind of like what the Air Force already did. Like,
then we already have it, bro.
Like I'm pretty sure we already have that whole thing that you're talking about. Now, if you just want to segment it, like that would be a different thing. But I think it already like between NASA and the Air Force, like they do a lot. Like they run all that shit that's going pre-Space Force. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Space Force was. It's Trump doing his marketing thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like another thing that these guys were saying yesterday was like, "Oh, he slashed the tax to 21% and unleashed the
unleash the jobs."
I was like, what can I say? What would be the purpose of me rebutting?
You know what I love?
Because fuckers are not gonna fucking.
You know what I love? There's not a single policy Republicans have that they can brag about because they only have one policy that they can hammer to paper.
Here's the thing, though.
Tax cuts.
Yes, that's true.
Tax cuts. But you don't want to go out in public and be like, I'm cutting taxes for the richest people in America. So you shut the fuck up and you engage in culture war instead.
What Trump did was very smart. He told people that they were going to get tax cuts. He just lied.
Yeah.
He said, no, everybody's going to benefit. Everybody's going to get the thing. And it's a lie. It's a lie.
Lie.
It's a straight up lie. So, but here's the thing.
I heard the taxes went down. That's what I heard.
That's exactly. And that's all that's needed. Well, because that's what everybody's going to repeat.
Yeah, I can picture Trump just being like, that's what I heard. Oh, no? Well, I'm going to have to look at some paperwork.
Okay, check this out. The truth of the matter is that Republicans actually deliver for the lowest denominator of their party. Right? They act well, the homophobes, the bigots, you know what I'm saying? They deliver for these people.
Silly legislation.
They
specifically
deliver though.
Silly legislation is
think about it, though.
For them.
Yes, think about they deliver.
They absolutely.
What do the Democrats
that's what I'm saying.
Not do?
The Democrats
deliver. They don't deliver for the base.
No, let me explain. Let me explain. The Democrats purposefully, I always say this,
Purposefully
incompetent. Because, like, when something like tax cuts is passed, you know who benefits from that shit?
They're donors.
Fuck donors.
And them.
And them.
Because they're fucking millionaires.
Pelosi,
yeah.
She's gonna get a tax cut.
Yeah, they're all millionaires. Yeah. Of course, they're all gonna get tax cuts. It's crazy. But totally true. You know, I do believe that that's why the Republican Party is able to not only go on, but keep building these different factions that are.
Don't forget. They don't need. They need a small faction of the electorate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
That's the thing about them. All they need is that small group of idiots that'll vote for them, that'll vote against their own self, which is not many of them. When you really get down to it, it's really not many of them.
It's not. The thing is, but it's enough. It's enough.
It's barely enough.
It's enough of them.
But the thing is, they can gerrymander. They can redistrict.
Yeah.
They can. Fuck. This is gonna slip. There we go. Yo, they can gerrymander. They can redistrict.
Excuse me. My bad.
Yeah, they can gerrymander, they can redistrict, bro. They do all those little nefarious games, voter suppression laws, all that bullshit, bro. Yes. As long as they got that small faction, bro, they're straight.
Yeah.
They're straight.
And they constantly deliver for them.
And they deliver.
They constantly deliver for them.
They even deliver on the silly shit. Like, they'll take a silly issue,
all
like, so, like, for example, like, I always bring up North Carolina Sharia law, but now we have Don't Say Gay as a good example.
But
they'll take something silly.
They're both great examples.
Make it a problem in the public sphere, and then legislate that silly thing.
100%. 100%.
Boom, culture. And they don't even have to. And they don't even. You know what's crazy? They don't even have to fucking deliver. Like, I bet you nothing's gonna happen with Don't Say Gay.
I mean, listen.
Governor Abbott with the immigrants on the buses.
Here's my point.
What happened with that?
They passed the law. That's they're delivering. Even if nothing comes of it, they passed a law. That's delivering. Okay.
Because people can think they did something
exactly.
But in reality, nothing was done. It's just a mental mind fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a mental.
Yeah, and listen. That's all they need. That's all they need. They need just a little bit of hate. They gotta be upfront about it. They gotta be. You know what I'm saying? The dog whistle. Some people do the dog whistle. Some people do the trumpet. You heard about this guy Nicely, right?
Who's that?
This dude from what's his name? Frank Nicely. Look him up real quick. Homeboy said, "Oh, I'm about to give you a history lesson because they're passing like legislation on the homeless."
Oh no!
And he's like, you know who was homeless and picked himself up by the bootstraps?
Tennessee State Center. Oh, I saw
man by Hitler.
Yeah.
Hitler picked him. He was
gaslight.
Whoa! I was like, whoa! Like what? Yeah. Anybody can pick themselves up. Look at Hitler. If he did it, anybody can. You can do it too.
Yeah. Anyone can stage a coup. You can do it too.
It was mind blowing. But see, these are the little things.
These are little gaslight. Yeah, they're not doing this with the gasoline, but they're doing this.
Listen,
they're doing this with the gasoline.
The base eats that up like piranhas in blood, like.
Bro, they're not. Remember, they're not coming out with a bucket of gasoline.
It's crazy.
What they're coming out with is just a little droplet.
Yeah.
It's like when Ron DeSantis in a debate, right, against Andrew Gillum, he goes, we got to make sure not to monkey things up.
Yeah.
It's a little gas.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little ping.
Yeah.
You know.
Total plausible deniability.
Yeah. Plausible deniability.
You know what I'm saying?
But just a little buzzwords to enrage a few people.
Yeah. You wanna really like take a look into the dark side. Like
they do those things on purpose, though. It's a game. They know what they're doing. We're not like that, bro. We're fucking pussies in Congress, bro. We take this shit passed.
Yeah.
You know, even popular policies. That's why Bernie Sanders, his policies are the most popular in the country.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, and like I said, like you can tell these right wingers and these MAGA cultists about these policies, And if you don't say left, if you don't say Bernie, they will love it. They say word. Okay, yeah, hell
You know what's
yeah.
crazy? I think if Bernie was from a bigger state, because it's unfortunate. I hate to say this. Like, he'd probably hate if I said this because he's from Vermont, but it's unfortunate he's from Vermont. Like, if he was from a New York or California, the Senate, I think we would have had like Medicare for all by now.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't. Hopefully, but I'm saying like shit. That would have been nice. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I just say that would have been
I was
nice.
like 15 years old when I learned about Bernie Sanders, but he was on Bill Maher's show.
Right.
You know how you know Bill Maher changed, and he always goes, "I didn't change," because I saw his new special, Adulting. Right? He goes, "I didn't change." You know how I know he changed? I've never seen anyone change from Bernie to Klobuchar.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Not only that, but it's like, how are you gonna sit there and say that you haven't changed when things go around and happen in society? It changes you.
Yeah.
It changes you. So if you're gonna tell me that, oh, you're just the same old person, wait. So does that mean that when the Iraq War happened, you kept on being the same
People
person?
yeah.
It didn't change you.
People-
It didn't make you want to like speak out. It didn't.
You
So
know,
what's the difference between
I did
that and
terrible
this?
things as a kid. We, you know, in middle school, we'd all say terrible
Yeah.
things. And like, oh, don't say gay. I don't say that shit anymore. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
realize that's actually offensive, you know? Or like, oh, you can say the N word just with the A, not the ER. No, neither is okay.
Right.
You know, it's stuff like that. Like, you change. Like, you mature.
Yeah. So when he says, "Oh, I haven't changed," like you're really taunting that even if shit happens around you, that's critical, that's pivotal. It doesn't change you. So
Yeah.
how would you sound during the time when you were doing politically correct if things were happening and you just kept on saying
even the early years of real time.
yeah, just saying, oh, I haven't changed, I'm not changing, these things are happening, I'm still the same
Yeah,
old.
he goes like this. He goes, oh, he used to always say some things should not be for the profit motive, like healthcare or whatever. Now he's like, you want me to pick up the tab for all these obese people?
Right.
It's like, what the fuck? You know that there are countries that are more obese than the United States, like Kuwait.
Right.
Right? And they have fucking free health. By the way, you know Kuwait's obese because of us, right?
No, I didn't know that.
You didn't? Oh, you gotta watch this Vice. Yo, they have the biggest, like, they have more fast food chains per square, like, mile or something like that
Shut up.
than any country in the world. And they're the most obese country, but they're all like KFC, McDonald's, like they're all American.
Wow, let's shut up.
Yeah, people eat like fast food 3 times a day in Kuwait.
But wait, isn't Kuwait like
Oil?
oh wait, that's in Saudi Arabia. Right?
What?
Kuwait.
No, Kuwait's its own country.
All right. Pardon my ignorance. I thought it was part of the Arab Emirates. The Emirates.
No. Yo, I used to work at this dental school. Yeah, Kuwait. Bro, I used to work at this dental school. All the residents were from Kuwait.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all America. When in the early '90s,
Yeah.
America started having a fast food like boom there.
Okay.
Boom, they became the fattest country in the world, but they still have free healthcare. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
You know, American Samoa, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm gonna guess they have free healthcare. I'm gonna go and guess, bro. They're more obese than us, even though American Samoa or Poland. You know, any of those Polynesian. They're more obese than. I bet you they have free healthcare. How much you want to bet? You know.
Yeah.
Like, bro, who gives a fuck? Bill Maher's now like, it's like, oh fuck, my taxes are about to go up.
But see,
Fuck.
so he has changed.
He has changed.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
It's just it's total bullshit, and it's just like get off my lawnism. You know what I'm saying?
It's not, but he's right about some stuff, bro. Like, I agree with his whole premise in general, like, of the left being goofy.
I don't know. I think the left has been made to look goofy. I
No.
don't think the left is goofy.
I think the left is. I feel like that's why we lose elections, bro. You don't think?
But the left isn't
Do you
in
believe-
elections.
Do you believe in
The center? What you're saying is the center is.
Hold on. Do you
is
believe in
goofy.
hormone blockers for kids? It's small issues that make it into the public sphere like that.
Well, I believe. What do you mean? Do I believe in it? Do I believe in parents making a decision
For
about
their
their kids, fuck yeah. Because hormone
To put
blockers aren't
hormone
given.
blockers?
Hormone blockers aren't given to children like fucking.
So like a 6-year-old says, "I think I'm a girl."
Why is it your business? That's my first question. Second of all,
I think that's child abuse, though.
if-
Like there's stuff like that on the left that people.
do you have kids?
That people.
Do you have kids?
Yo.
Do you have kids?
What?
Do you have kids?
You know, but this.
Then you should maybe stick to your wheelhouse. Because
that's child abuse.
No. You can't say what child abuse is. You can't.
Bro,
That's not your
like
judgment.
that cost us elections, though.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Bro, because people look at that and they're like, yo, these people can't run this country, and I'm like, yeah, I get why. I understand.
I don't know, man. Listen, the
I don't
truth
feel
is,
like there's stuff like that.
Parents have the right to do with parents have the right to make decisions.
But I feel like
about their kids, and I don't.
But do you think a parent has the right to beat the fuck out of his kid?
That's not. How is that even compared to this?
Because I feel like that is a form of child abuse.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not a form of child abuse. I think that's homophobic and transphobic. That's what I think it is. Because the truth is that, like, it would be child abuse not to take care of your child. That is what child abuse is. Okay? If your child is going through something, there's people that are born with certain
No. I think this is a losing issue for the left. It's little stuff like this.
It's a losing issue for the left when you make it a political thing, but this is a healthcare thing. This is fuck politics. This is I don't care if you think that this is a thing that's gonna win or lose elections. Children and families have the right to make choices around the things. Even if you disagree.
Stuff like that. This is a very new thing, though.
Okay, let me tell you something. Do you think that children should be denied blood transplants?
Absolutely not. But there's
nuances.
There's new things.
Do you think
we don't know how to legislate about. If a kid says, "I want to be a girl," and he's 5, no, you can't put that kid on. I'm
happy that you don't have kids and that you can make these judgment calls.
I mean,
you don't really know. You don't have a bearing. You don't have a family. You don't have a family. You don't have kids. It's hard for you to grasp what these things involve.
But no,
every single situation is independent of itself. It's not a monolith thing that you can just say. Now, if you say, I'll agree with you that it's a losing it'll lose elections for you. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, but I feel like
I can't agree with you in the part that's the thing that we should base healthcare on.
But the thing is that the right can snatch onto little things like that. No, we should never base healthcare on that at all.
So here's my point: if you're gonna base giving healthcare on what the moral suppositions that you have that you actually don't have any idea about.
No.
Then
yo, listen. We don't know much about this. This shit is kind of new.
There's plenty of science out there, and the science says what it says. If not, it would be a different situation.
I don't feel like their brain isn't fully developed. They're not ready to make serious decisions.
It doesn't matter what you think.
That.
On the real,
I remember when I was a kid, I definitely wouldn't be able to make a decision like that.
Because mentally, but what if you had a thyroid problem? What does the way you think have
to do
with
a thyroid?
Oh,
okay, we're talking in instances like that. Okay,
if you're gonna paint the whole trans issue in a monolith, then you're gonna think the way you do, and you're gonna have this idea that you, like I'm saying this repeatedly, you have no idea about. When you deal with families and
we don't have any idea about.
No, you don't have an idea about what it is dealing with a family and dealing with problems of health with your children. Okay, there are instances where
I wouldn't say that.
Well, yeah, because you don't have you don't have children and you don't have family.
I wouldn't even say that.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's a huge thing. But here's the thing: if we're talking about things that win elections or not, then you're totally right. Yeah, you're totally right. If that's what you're gonna put out there to exemplify us,
no, but the thing is that that's bait for them, and they can take that and then.
Then guess what? They can take also that we want to give health care to people that don't work, that people that are fat,
you do.
That are, you know what I'm saying? So it's not about. I'm
not saying I'm not saying don't cover it, bro. I'm just saying that there are things that are nuanced that we have to really look at, like situations in California where parents are putting their children on hormone blockers to change
So
their sex.
right now, you're
which
doing
isn't-
you're doing a version of the thing here, of the groomer. You're doing a version of that right now.
But there are instances in the country where that's actually like a thing.
I don't
It's
believe
like,
that. Do you live in California? How many families do you know? Is your family out there in California? Is your children out there in California?
No, but I know
you have no
people-
idea about this.
I know
See,
people-
here's the thing. You sound just like my wife's hairdresser right now, because my wife's hairdresser, beautiful, 30 something, no kids, not married ever, but she'll go and tell you about some groomers though. She'll go and tell you that this state has a problem with it. No. I'm giving you an example. She's giving she's giving out advice. She says that she'll tell you that right there, that like in families, the families are going through things and children are being taught these things. She doesn't have children to tell you that personally in her own personal experience, and she doesn't have any idea about what those things that are happening that she only hears this in the media, as you do.
I mean, no, I mean,
as you do.
I hear it from people too.
No, you hear it in the media, because if you lived out there in LA, in any part of California, and you had
I talk to people in LA all the time. In comedy.
I doubt that it's a situation where it's like, hey, this is what we're gonna do.
Hold on, but let me say this: it's not a big deal. It's a microcosm. That it is. But there are things like this that make no sense. That the right is like, see, that's the left, and they take shit like this. And
it doesn't, like I said, it's something that has to do with,
and we don't know,
because they can say the same thing about giving houses to the homeless. It doesn't fucking matter what they say.
No, they can't.
What they do. It doesn't. See, that's
they
my
do.
point.
They do.
It doesn't
but they
matter.
cannot.
It doesn't matter.
Objectively speaking, they cannot. But they do.
It doesn't. Just like this. This is objectively something that they can say is that, but it isn't. And it's the same thing. Now,
they get it all wrong too. You know what I mean?
I think that if you have to decide,
but the fact is, we don't. It's like the trans swimmer. Yeah, we don't listen. Is it a big deal? No, not at all. Really, not at all. There's no money in women's sport. It's really not a big deal. Is this something that's gonna have to be legislated eventually? But with all the shit going on. Like, come on, like, the right, again, just picks on this little fucking microcosm silly issue.
It is.
That really is silly, and they make it a fucking huge thing. Like, all right, with all the problems y'all have created, yo, this is all y'all can find.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna.
You know what I mean? Because like, if we're going tit for tat with the right, shit, like this is all they have. I'll take it.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
But
the thing, because what they do is way worse. But at the same time, it's like we cannot give them any fuel. And the thing is that like when it comes to that issue, the trans swimmer, like they are able to blow something like that out of proportion.
It's not so. We're not going to stand up for trans people because it's going to give them fuel.
No, we are. Obviously, they should have rights, but there's issus like that in particular.
We shouldn't give them fuel.
So you think
we wouldn't stand up for them? That's what I'm saying. It's like you think trans? Yeah, you think that's perfectly okay with before we get into that, I'm asking you a question. Do you think that we shouldn't give them fuel? That's what you're saying. Like, please tell me if that's how you stand by your.
Yeah, they bought the media. They own the media. We cannot give them fuel.
Okay, I'm not. So what's fuel? Trying to stand up for these people.
We don't even legislate for these people. We don't do shit for these people.
So what's fuel? Trying to stand up for these people, like standing up for these people in public. That's fuel.
It's not standing up for. Obviously, we're for their rights.
What's giving them fuel? What's the fuel that you're talking about?
But like when you see this is fuel. Like when you see something like the trans swimmer shit, you said like, nope, that's perfectly acceptable. You know what I mean? Everything is normal. Like to pretend everything is normal there. So like that's giving them fuel.
Okay,
well, so we know it's not normal.
What would be the non-giving them fuel version of that situation?
Yeah, this happened in NCAA sports, but eventually we're gonna come to a time in which this is gonna be legislated. End of discussion.
And then the people who are getting they're not being allowed to play.
Life isn't. Listen, life isn't always life can be right, but it's not gonna. Doesn't mean it's gonna be fair.
I don't know. I think me and you are two different type of leftists.
You know what I'm saying? Yo,
I think you and me are really two different type of leftists.
You don't think that you don't think that there's a significant advantage in playing? You ever played sports?
Yeah, I've played sports, and you know, there's a problem with sports.
What's the problem?
People that think that it's a thing that can never be changed and shouldn't be changed.
Never.
Because see, why do we even have gendered segmentation?
Because
why doesn't it go by weight class? Because you're telling me that you can't play with a woman in the same weight class as you? What's the difference?
I'm faster. I'm probably gonna
in the
be
same
stronger.
weight class as you.
If she weighs as much as me, I'm probably stronger. I'm faster. Yes.
If she's been raised to be an athlete just like you.
Okay.
You're talking about like
prime example. The U.S. women's soccer team is ranked number 1 in the world. They played under 15 boys and got smoked. And the USA men's is horrible.
Listen, at the end of the day,
there are biological differences when it comes to sports.
But biological differences doesn't have to do with preparation, with skill. It's like
Absolutely.
It's discounting like so much shit that.
Why do you think the men have all the fastest records in the world?
Because because that's where the money's at.
No.
Because
it's a biological difference.
Because there's money in.
Testosterone does make people faster, stronger, have better
women
reflexes.
have testosterone too,
but not as much as men.
Listen, there's the reason why it's a focus on men's shit is because there's money in that, and because we're
but men are also
society,
like naturally.
Men don't want to see women compete at the level of men because it's not interesting to them.
Hold on,
they want to see more guys. They want to see guys do the things that they like to see.
So you're saying there's no difference athletically between men and women? You think?
No, I'm saying that.
You think pro sports could be co-ed?
I think so. If we work within work within parameters.
So you're saying
not. I'm saying that if we work within parameters, change the way that the game is played, and that the thing is organized, it could work.
You think
now if we do it,
you think the
just
NFL
like right now,
could be co-ed?
I think the NFL is barbaric. I don't think that it should. It should.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right.
I don't think it should.
But what about you think soccer could be? You think English soccer could be pro?
I think soccer can be. You're talking about a certain style of soccer that's more violent and more physical than the other soccers. I'm talking about
any soccer.
Any sport can be co-ed. Any sport can be co-ed. Listen, man, that's.
The men are bigger, faster, and stronger, though.
And put the men in the categories where women would play with in men like weight class. Like that's some shit that can be done. All right. If men play with women in the same weight class, there's comparability and it's a team.
Yeah, but
sport.
there are men that are 50 pounds heavier or lighter. There are men that are weight class and they're still bigger, faster, and stronger than any woman. On whatever.
Then let it be. Let skill and preparation be what separates these athletes, not their fucking genders. And that's some bullshit that I can't get people to even think that things can be different.
But no, because honestly speaking, if you did that, it would still be the same way because it would be for example, let's name a sport. Name a sport. Basketball. Okay, 2 women in the history of the WNBA have ever dunked. Everyone in the NBA can dunk.
You sure about that?
Everyone. There's like a few white guys that can't.
You sure that everybody in the NBA can dunk?
There's like a few white guys that can't.
Let me tell you something. There's plenty of women that can dunk. All right?
There's only been 2 in the history of the WNBA.
I don't believe that for 1 fucking minute. But listen, I'm not going to base what I think about sports about dunking. Let me tell you that.
It's a matter of height.
Listen, you know who Bugsy Malone is? Listen, I know that the physical.
What, like people like Spud? People like Spud Webb. Yeah, no 5'3" woman is ever
physical. Here's the difference.
Since 1997, 28 dunks.
I'm sorry, 2 dunks.
And since 1997, bro, there are 28 dunks in a quarter at the men's. What do you mean?
Listen, like I said, not every basketball player can dunk. Okay? If this is what you're gonna base the separation on about dunking, I think that's retarded and superficial. Okay? Because If what you're talking about dunking, then let the man dunk. Let the men dunk. Who cares? Play with the fucking women and see what happens. Train these fucking athletes to do the same.
They get the same.
People like Bugsy
facilities,
Malone was 5 feet. You think that he just walked up to that shit and dunked?
Some
He
people
trained his whole life to dunk on that shit. And that's what you do. That's what athletes do.
No woman is gonna be able to do that.
Why? Why not? Because you say so? Because
no, we're built different.
Listen,
it's biology.
We're built different. But a woman can train and be at the peak athletic ability of any man. Because that's the way that bodies work. Okay? Now,
no.
what I'm saying is this.
There are differences in men and women.
What I'm saying is this. You don't think that shit should be changed. That's it.
With what?
With sports. You don't think that it should be changed.
What? With professional sports?
With any sports. From the fucking top to the bottom. And the reason we're having this problem with the...
No,
with
obviously, but within... We have to talk within the sports, though.
Because if instead of women swimming, we had co-ed swimming within weight class, within skill level, whatever the fuck other
the men would be the best ones, and it wouldn't even be close.
I would love to see that for you to, because you just telling me.
Let's Google.
Let's
Google the best. Let's Google the world records, men and women. Let's Google world records, men versus women. Swimming, right? Men and women swimming world records. It's like...
I would like to see head to head. I would like to see them actually do it. Not you tell me some stats. So here's my point about it. Yeah, you can show me all the stats that men do this and are different. What you're telling me is that the sports can't change. And that's what, and at the end of the day, I'm telling you, that's bullshit. That's bullshit because everything can change.
All right, let's see when.
Okay.
23.67.
And what's your point by this?
That
men are faster than women? Okay, men are faster than women. What does that have to do
with us? The woman's best time doesn't even make it on the men's list. What? There are differences. There are differences.
So I'm telling. So
there's a difference.
So what you're telling. So what you're getting from. So what you're getting from everything that I'm telling you is that there's no difference between men and women. That's what you're getting from what I'm telling you. Not that we can change things and things can be different and be done different. That's not what you're getting from me.
Do you watch sports for the best product, the best athletes, the best game, the best?
I think capitalism can suck a dick, and I think that the reason it
I watch sports to see the best athletes.
Good for you.
I watch soccer to see the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, the fastest passing, the hardest shooting.
I'm glad that you like to see. I'm glad that you like.
It's the best game.
I like that.
You like good sports or bad sports?
I'm happy that you like to watch other men. I'm glad for you. I'm super happy for you. I'm not into it like that. I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? That's just me telling you that. I'm not really into watching other men like that.
So what do you watch when you watch sports? What sports do you watch?
I watch whatever has a beer in front of me and is going on the TV. I'm not like a sports fanatic. Like I gotta watch this game.
I watch soccer. I'm telling you, it would suck if women got it. It wouldn't be as good because the men are the biggest, the fastest, the strongest.
Like I said, there's always the exception to the rule, and there's no reason why shit can't be different. Is what I'm saying. And I don't believe in this whole I
think it's
corporate structure of
for sports, but
sports and bullshit that.
But sports, I love the best product. I like sports, bro. When I'm watching sports, I want to see. You don't want to see an athlete do something amazing.
It doesnn't have to do with gender for me to want to watch an athlete do something amazing.
No, but just but you're more likely to see it if you're watching a man play. Is my point.
I don't share that. I don't share that opinion. I don't share that opinion. I don't share that opinion. I just think that things have to change in this country for everybody to have equal rights and equal standing.
Yeah, but right isn't always fair. You got to keep in mind. Listen. I believe we have to respect everybody. Everybody deserves equal rights. We don't discriminate regardless in society. But there are factions
No,
of our society,
no. I
like
mean,
sports.
understand that when you
Well, hold on, hold
when
on,
you
hold on.
say,
Let me finish.
no, let me tell you something. When
No,
you
no,
say,
no, no, no. You
when you say a
interrupted me.
set
I
of
was still
words,
making a point.
no, but let me just say this.
Oh
before
my
you finish.
God,
When you say a set of words and then you say
Poor
but,
manners.
you know that, right? I know. When you say a set of words and then you say but, everything that you said before that is.
Oh, you want? Who do you
No,
watching Dr. Phil?
No, I'm just telling you. That's a fact. I'm just telling you. So go ahead with your point.
Listen, I'm for all that. However, however, there are certain factions in our society, like sports, where we need to do what's right, but right isn't always fair.
Okay.
And this situation with the swimmer, like is one of those situations.
Well, if we had different rules,
we should if we clean and I think anyone, what I believe, I feel like any rational can see it. Like
if we had different rules,
and I just feel like like this is a losing issue for us because right isn't always fair. Regardless of what needs to be legislated, we still have to respect everybody involved in the legislation, and that's that. But
if we had
unfortunately,
different rules,
right isn't always fair.
If
and
we had
that's
different
exactly
rules,
this
if we had
situation.
different rules,
You're talking about co-ed sports stuff. That sucks.
Listen, if we had different rules, there wouldn't be a need to make these comparisons of a trans man just beat a bunch of women. Excuse me, a trans woman just beat a bunch of women. There wouldn't need to be that. And but that's just what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're wrong about interesting and being more exciting. I'm not saying that. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if we had different rules, if different structures that within sports, if sports wasn't something that had to be a monolith, an unchangeable thing for these people, which I think is retarded. Yeah, just like I said, just when I was the last 20 minutes, I've been telling you that you don't believe that sports should change. A lot of people feel the same way, and I'm saying that it's not. There's no reason.
Change how athletes are overpaid. I think they're overpaid.
We're talking about co-ed sports, brother. That's all we're talking about.
No, I don't think coaches are going to be
okay?
co-ed.
That's all I'm talking about.
I look for the best product.
A fundamental change in the structure of how we see things.
I look for the best product.
And when we change society fundamentally.
Hold on, I think you might have turned off your
mic.
Oh no, you. Oh yeah. Press it again. Press the red button. There you go.
Okay. When we change society fundamentally, it goes from top to bottom. We should change society so that we can find a way to work with everything and then break down these institutions that prevent us from that. Now, I'm not saying that you have to lose what you love about sports, but if things were to change, and there's ways to structure it, if we can find a way to do it, why not do it? But there's certain people who are stuck. And listen, that's why I understand people who are against gay people in that sense. That they're
this
stuck
has
to a
nothing
structure.
to do with being against gay people.
It doesn't have to do nothing with going against gay people or racism, but it does have to do with accepting change within a certain parameter of society.
Yeah, but the change has to make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't have
when
to
there's a scientific. See, there's no scientific difference between black people and white people.
Right.
But there's a scientific difference physically between men and women.
But just because
that's why.
Right. But just because of that doesn't mean that
separated.
that doesn't mean that people accept that. So. What's the difference? I get what you're saying.
Imagine you're hold on. You have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
Imagine she's playing a sport, right? Does your daughter play sports?
Right. Yeah.
What does she play?
Soccer.
She's playing soccer, right? All of a sudden, this fucking man striker comes and just does everything legal, but just like fucking flings your daughter,
right,
to get past her and score a goal. Muscular. What are you gonna think?
I don't know what I would think because I'm not in the situation right now. But what I can tell you is that
you're like,
if
people say
the rules of the game was changed and things were different, that we could find a way to have that male striker. If that male striker identifies like a woman or like a girl, there's a way.
Or imagine,
but
he's
if we're
playing
gonna,
defense.
if we're just gonna
disaster.
Yeah, because if we just drop the transgender person individual into something, into a structure that is alien to that, then yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's the proverbial square peg going into the round hole, right? But the whole point of progressivism is changing the fucking hole. That's progressivism, okay?
Where it needs to be changed in sports. Listen,
If
I
sports isn't a thing to me that needs to be a monolith. It just isn't. It's not an institution to me that
you don't like the
because
best.
It's
trivial. When you watch the Super Bowl, you got the two best teams, the two best athletes.
That's why it's trivial. It's not. It's even things that are fundamental can be changed. Now, something like sports can be changed. Come on.
Sports, when you watch the World Cup, what are you watching for? Whose country's the best at a sport?
I'm not watching men. That's not the reason I'm watching.
So you watch all women's sports?
I love volleyball.
Okay, well, you get it.
I love.
Whoa, you picked a one to fucking okay.
I love women's sports. I watch. Yeah, sure, I love it. I'm not like
I watch
you.
women's soccer
So
sometimes, but I know that it's not as good as men, and it's noticeable.
I don't watch sports for the gender. It's just not why I
watch. But
it's
still
sports.
Nice to watch. It's still soccer.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that you feel that way. It's just that if things in society, monumental function systems can be changed to accept these people. Now, if something as trivial as sports can't be changed, I don't believe that. It's so antithetical to everything that I believe in, that it's like, how can something so trivial in the society? Because let me tell you something. If sports didn't exist tomorrow, if professional sports didn't exist tomorrow, you know what would happen?
Everything would be just fine.
Everything would be just fine.
But
but
I like sports, bro. Come on.
Cool, fine. You love sports. I love sports too. I just may not love it as much as you do, but obviously not, because I don't think that
you don't think there's a need you don't think there's a need to have the best product at all times when it comes to sports.
I hate capitalism. Why would I believe that?
So you don't believe in the best product? Because let me tell you,
I believe in the best product. But I don't believe that sports, a person's like, I don't believe sports is something that
because the whole basis behind socialism is delivering the best product.
Yeah, but for fundamental needs, not trivial bullshit about balls being thrown one to another, from one person to another. It's just sports isn't that pivotal in society for me. I don't see it like...
sports takes a lot of people out of poverty.
Cool, awesome, dope, good for them. Do I think it's something that we need? I don't.
What?
I don't think we need it.
Hold on, let me ask you. Are you looking at it from like a Roman Empire perspective? Like, too much sports, it's clearly a sign of our society's decline, or are you like...
There's an element of that.
Or are you like... No, like when people,
there's an element of
weren't as trivial. There was an uprising in our civilization, but now that we're trivial and rely and actually make the most important people in our society in many cases people that play sports.
Yes, sports are a
come on,
for society.
Are you're gonna be the crab that's like, no, I don't like fucking capitalism. No, come on, bro. Don't be a crab.
I'm just saying.
Don't be a crab. You know in the back of your head that the product that we have when it comes to sports today is pretty good, and you know damn well.
I don't think.
Hold on, in the back of your head, you know that it's the best product, even though there are no women. You know it's the best product. If there were, it would be fair, but it wouldn't be the best product, I think.
Okay.
Hold on.
It's the best product.
I feel like you know that, though. Right now, it's the best product, but it's not fair. But you want it to be fair, even though it wouldn't be the best product.
It's the best product. Is it a product that we need to have? No.
Oh, is it entertaining, though?
What's the point? What's the point? You want to be entertained by that? Cool.
Bro, you're a musician. You're an entertainer, bro. What do you mean? You entertain people. What do you mean?
But if we can change,
we're entertainers.
If we can change if we can change the landscape of music, if we can change the landscape of healthcare, like why should we not change the landscape of sports? Like, what is sports? Is sports something that's more sacred than healthcare? Is it more needed than healthcare? Is the product that
I don't think you have to. I don't think there's like a pick and choose sports or healthcare.
No,
I don't think
there isn't. But there also isn't. There isn't a pick and choose. But actually,
when it comes to American, when it comes to football,
there is.
When it comes to American football,
what would you rather have? Because you already have your football. Would you sacrifice your football for healthcare?
I never liked American football, honestly. But
would you sacrifice your sports for healthcare?
My soccer?
Sports.
What sports?
The concept that we have of sports as capitalistic enterprise.
All sports except soccer, I'll be willing to give up for healthcare.
So my point is this. It doesn't matter if tomorrow sports didn't exist. It wouldn't matter. Here's what would happen, though. People would riot. They wouldn't have their dopamine. And yeah, to a certain extent, people are brainwashed by.
Well, what do you think happened during the
sports.
pandemic when we didn't have soccer for like 3 months?
So my point is this: that is sports, like any other trivial thing in society, can be changed to help include people. I don't think it's something in society that needs to be like conserved the way it is for perpetuity. It's silly. Sports are silly. Yeah, the product.
Why do your kids
I'm sorry.
Why do your kids play sports?
No, you're right. I misspoke. Sports are great.
Some sports are great. Because if you ask me,
the product of sports as we take it, soccer, football, baseball, and this whole thing that we have created, that's silly.
Your son, you ever going to play American football?
Sure, he plays football at school. Now,
that's a bad sport.
Is there, yeah, I know.
That's a bad sport.
Now, is there a difference between what I feel about sports at school than like professional sports?
You can still get a concussion.
You don't think that there's a difference? I'm not talking about the concussion, my brother.
It's bad for your health. I look at sports as what's good for your health.
Cool, awesome. What I'm talking about is the product. The product that capitalism gives us. We can do without it. We're not a society that needs that. I mean, we have it, and it might be awesome and entertaining, but it's not something that's pivotal to us, like water or healthcare or housing, which are things that we're fighting to change.
Yeah,
and that
of course.
we can change.
Obviously.
So if we can change monumental things, why can't we change the trivial things?
Because that has to be the best product. That is entertainment. Entertainment always has to be the best product. Okay, sports is a faction of entertainment.
When you speak on it as a product, I'm here to tell you, fuck a product.
But when you entertain, when I entertain, are we not looking to deliver the best product?
Yeah, but that goes beyond the point of that I'm trying to make.
Sports is a form of entertainment. We're trying to deliver the best product.
Awesome. It could be changed. That's what I'm saying.
But we want the best product.
It could be changed.
To include women?
To include transgender, to include dogs. I don't know. It could be changed.
You know what my prediction is? Like 100 years from now, there's going to be like a transgender league. Sports.
I think 100 years from now, this conversation won't matter because we won't probably exist.
We won't. We will be dead.
You know what I'm saying? So
unless we freeze our brains in cryo chambers and
I don't know. Unless we upload our consciousnesses, our collective consciousness of individuals. Yeah. Everybody goes up to the internet, uploads their shit, and then we can have these conversations until the end of time. Or as long as the server's up and working.
Yeah, you think that's going to happen in our lifetime?
What?
That we're going to be able to download our consciousness?
Or upload a consciousness?
Upload a consciousness into
in our lifetime?
Yeah. I don't think in my lifetime.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. The thing is that like, the longer that we exist, the shorter intervals there is between advances and advances.
Mm-hmm.
Like it used to be long intervals between advancements in
But
science.
people used to only live 40 years, I feel like, so they were
Yeah.
trying to innovate as fast as they could.
Right. But now exponentially, like we get new discoveries like real fast. So I think so. If Elon Musk is already like toying with the idea, I'm sure that there
I
are
don't
actual
believe in a
serious
damn thing he
people
says.
are actually doing it.
So actual, okay,
you know what I'm
that
saying?
is the key word. Actual serious people are doing that.
I think if Elon Musk is toying with the
An
idea,
actual serious guy getting paid $60K a year is doing it.
more than that, it's like underground, like government, like type shit. That's the way I see it. Because like the honest truth is that we're already at a point where like we're able to make robots mimic
Human.
sentience.
Yeah.
They can mimic it.
Yeah, do you believe Stephen Hawking's prediction that robots will just like take over?
If we
they will be slaves to robots.
If we have that, it's possible because we can definitely have that jumping off point.
It's crazy. I always have like this thought, like this picture, like of like some time frame like that. I probably won't be alive for, but it's always like what would that be like? Like the robots are like, you know, the robots. There
would probably be very little humanity.
There'd be very little humanity. One, it'd be like at a point where it's like the robots control all the cars. You get out, the robots open your door when you leave.
Yeah.
They can close the door anytime you want. You know what I mean? At any point
like a robot.
You just walk to the door and it automatically opens. But imagine it turn on you one day and the door won't open and
the door won't open, or you're passing it, just closes.
Yeah, and just caca. Yeah.
I the thing is that the tricky thing about technology is that like we tend to want it to do more and more for us.
Yeah.
And we kind of like forego certain like physical activities or things that maybe they're not necessarily needed for a machine to do. At the end of the day, we do look for more comfort and easier ways to do things. Like I remember back in the day memorizing like tons of numbers. How many phone numbers do you know?
Fuck, no, I mean,
I can tell you, I probably know like 3.
The way I used to do it is I used to have a piece of paper and I used to just like have it in my wallet. Just before like, I had a cell phone.
Yeah.
Like,
but you didn't memorize numbers back in the day? I did that. I memorized. Well, I'm older than you, so you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have like, we communicated through beepers.
Yeah, I remember.
You know what I'm saying? So like I remember like learning a bunch of numbers back in the day, but now it's like I don't need to learn numbers. And it happens, I've heard about studies that it happens even with memory. It's like the reason we kind of like take pictures and videos and everything, like our memories are shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Yeah.
But
and I think technology has everything to do with it.
Absolutely. But we're going to have to regulate that too at some point,
Yeah, definitely. And
everything, even the most comfortable factions of our society have to get regulated. Like, there's a degree of regulation that has to go.
A degree of everything needs a degree.
Even with the issue of there's a degree of regulation that has to go into everything.
Sure.
Like, there's already, back. I don't want to go back to sport, but even in sports, there's regulation.
Right?
You can't use performance-enhancing drugs and shit.
No, and even with the trans issue, like the way that they're trying to include it is kind of causing new regulation to be
that goes with that too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. That's all I've been trying to say the whole. That goes with that too, but not yet. It's not that important of an issue yet.
It's not.
We don't need to until it gets rampant, which it won't for another who knows how many years.
The problem with the thing is that we have to learn how to like separate the tactical part about framing and publicity and shit like that, and the part that's about taking care of the people. Yeah. Because we can't not stand up for these people.
I would say one thing about it, when it comes to all this phobia shit, I don't think hate crimes, they go far enough. I don't think hate crime laws, they go far enough.
Oh, I agree.
I feel like they're so stringent. Like, did he has to use a racial term?
Yeah.
Precisely. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can't just you know.
For sure. No, for sure. It's crazy how kind of like uh specific the
Racial laws
yeah,
are.
yeah, the and not
He has to damage property in the
right.
name of like, like, and it's always like a secondary like charge. You know what I mean? But damn, what do we got left? We talk about Christian.
The Christians,
Yeah,
the
and
the crazy Christians. Yeah, we talked
stolen
about it.
joke and Earth Day.
What do you want to say about Earth Day? More regulations.
More regulations. Nailed it. Yeah, like Green New Deal. You know what's crazy though? Like, if you ever hear like our politicians, like besides Rashida Tlaib, not so much. She kind of plays a little bit too much in her culture.
She's kind of
into
like
that.
into the center. I see her more.
No, she's not
more
even center,
center.
bro. I've seen her say some shit that's like, yo, you're playing into that again, that stuff that we don't get taken seriously for. Because I notice people like AOC and Bernie Sanders, when they talk, it's strictly policy almost all the time. It's just you hate AOC because she makes great points.
You know what I mean? Yeah, people hate her for that.
But she never talks culture. If you ever notice, like, she'll talk about herself sometimes, but she never really talks culture in general.
Not, and especially not in the way that the right wingers talk culture.
No, not even close.
No. Now,
and Bernie never. Bernie's all policy.
But I'll tell you something about Bernie. Bernie would agree with me about the sports thing.
No,
it's not fundamental. Things can be
I bet
changed.
you Bernie loves sports.
Oh, we're not.
No, and I bet you.
So what you understood what I said was that Bernie didn't love sports?
No, what I got from what you're saying is you looking at sports, you're like, you know what, this should be more inclusive. Not, wow, look at these athletes.
That's exactly what I think, and that's exactly what Bernie thinks too. Bernie, every time. Let me tell you something. Go look up what Bernie has said about every single time that he's been asked about that question.
So in Finland, Denmark, and Sweden, you don't think they separate sports?
I don't care about that.
Oh my God!
Go check what Bernie has said about trans athletes. Go check what he has said.
I'm afraid
because you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it because Bernie's position is what I'm telling you. Is my position. My position. Bernie taught me my positions and that. Bernie taught me them shits. Okay, I can't deny it.
Maybe there's one. That's one. Bro.
So let's cap it off. Listen, I like sports. I love sports. I don't like it like you do. I think change can be made. If our systems can change, then these little trivial things that society doesn't really need can be changed. And I understand that that you love it and that you want to see the best product possible when you see it, but
you're like, it needs to be. Oh damn!
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a monolith. Like, it could be what you want, and at the same time have an inclusion for these other things. You know what I'm saying? I think that's possible. I don't think that we have to forego what you love about it.
They would have to make a whole separate league, bro.
Maybe that's what we need.
If you're down for that, but you know what league I'm gonna be watching.
Maybe, sure. You don't watch the WNBA. A lot of people don't watch the WNBA, but it exists. So you're gonna tell me that that the league shouldn't exist just because the dunking thing that you were saying, and is that why it shouldn't exist?
Yeah, if I had a daughter, I would watch maybe WNBA, maybe, but no. Yeah, no, not them butch lesbians, fucking.
They can't be butch though. They can't be too butch because they need to be athletic.
No, there's some
Most of them are tall and thin and long.
Tall as fuck, I ain't reaching shit, right?
Let me tell you something, man. I've seen those tall ass women. Oh man, that shit drives me crazy. I would love to fuck a tall ass woman.
Yeah,
like a Death by Snoo Snoo.
Oh, dog, in college, bro.
Do you get that reference? Death by Snoo Snoo,
bro. And
do you get the reference? Later.
Dog, no, but I kind of think I know what you're.
Futurama.
Bro. In college, bro, I met this bitch in the gym. This bitch was 6'3".
Wow.
Like 175.
Wow.
Bro, straight up, bro.
Gorgeous, I bet.
Yo, blonde, gorgeous, just like big tits and nice lips. But like not a big ass, but just big like quads.
Oh,
Cause she just lifted all day.
and just big ass legs.
This bitch used to wreck the fuck out of me.
Wow.
Wreck the fuck out of me, bro. I'm 5'8", 145. You know what I mean? Like, yo.
That's cool. That's cool. No, I've always loved to see big. I like big women too, but like tall women. You know what I'm saying? I love women. Period. Whatever. Do you think trans women are women? I'm not talking about if you would date them. I'm talking about, do you think trans women are women?
If they say they're women, sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they say they are, bro.
I hate people that say, "Oh, if you wouldn't date," because I've seen this, but this isn't prevalent. This isn't prevalent.
Oh, if you would, I've seen
This
that.
it's not prevalent. It's not prevalent. It's just people say it. Oh, if you wouldn't date a trans woman, then you're a homophobe. You're transphobe.
No, people are whatever the fuck they say they are, bro. Who gives a shit,
bro.
bro? You know what I mean? People are whatever the fuck, bro. They say they are.
Like, you're not gonna sit there and tell me that I'm homophobic because I don't like guys.
Yo, like if I know someone's a trans and they're a woman, bro. Obviously, ma'am, shit. Like in my mind,
Right.
In my mind, default, I already know shit. Like I've never had the problems. Like, oh fuck, what? Like I've never had that debacle, bro. I'm just like, all right. Like I've heard so many comedians just be like, so what am I supposed to call them? I'm like, what do you mean, bro? Like if they're whatever whatever the fuck they are, like. They're portraying like that's what they are, bro. Like clearly they identify as that, you fucking moron.
I
hate when comedians go, what are you supposed to call them?
Cause
Ma'am,
I've never understood people that act like you can't talk to a person without referencing their gender, sex, or anything.
Yeah,
there's total ways that you can speak to people without like saying ma'am or sir or
how you doing?
You know, like, let me get that coffee. Thank you. Goodbye. Like, you don't have to gender everything in a conversation because that's just weird. Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't get it. I don't get people that don't grasp that. Like,
but there are certain factions in society which, all right, but for the most part, you just don't be a fucking dickhead, bro. People are whatever the fuck they want to be. And that's it. Don't legislate whatever the fuck people want to be. If you really believe in freedom like you claim you do,
You know what? Something just popped in my head. So you were saying, remember you asked me a little while ago, no, if your daughter is playing and a striker, who's a male, then comes up to, I would, and you
need to work out more, daughter of mine.
Yeah, no, so if this striker that you say comes and hurts my daughter, I would think the same thing if it were a girl. That's excessive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if...
No, say it's a legal tackle.
Then it's a legal tackle.
And she just gets flung.
It's a legal tackle.
If from a man, you're allowing that? Don't forget, it's a lot more power when it comes from a man.
But you're talking about like it's an adult man dressed as a chick.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger is running a 4-3 towards your daughter. Yo, full blast.
You know what these trans kids look like?
Pussies, I know.
You know what these trans kids
look like?
Yo,
but come on, Leah Thomas was obviously fucking a man.
Okay.
Like,
but yeah,
but it was man's shoulders, legs.
She's not tackling anybody.
What?
She's not tackling anybody.
No, she's just dominating a group of women.
Okay, but that's because the rules haven't been changed. And we're just dropping her into this.
Okay,
this
that's what I've been trying to get at the same time. They're going to change the rules. They're going to have to...
Yes, they have to change the rules.
All right, that's what I've been trying to say from the beginning. That's something they're going to have to legislate.
So, sports can be changed.
Yeah, for that.
Yes.
Not co-ed, but for that.
That's a start. But co-ed can exist. Why can't co-ed exist? Imagine how much...
Well, you ever played co-ed sports?
No. No, because the sports that I played were co-ed. I can't wrestle.
You never just played after school soccer?
The
after school basketball, after school whatever? With a bunch of people and there's girls playing?
I've got dominated in basketball playing with girls before.
For real? Then you're just horrible at basketball.
Maybe. But I've been dominated.
But I'm telling you,
Doesn't mean I have low T or some shit. I was,
your masculinity is in
in
question.
question.
Yeah.
Do I really like women though?
Well,
No, but real talk, it's like these things. Like the thing in Tennessee is like there's only one trans athlete in the whole fucking state.
exactly. That's why.
It's
That's
like,
why.
really?
That's what I mean when I say
like,
they
really?
zoom. That's what I mean when I say like, yo, it's not a big issue, and they zoom in. Shalom, my brothers. Oh, not Bud. From Israel, probably. But
Shalom.
Shalom. But yeah, that's what I mean when they pick a little tiny issue and they just fucking.
Yeah.
You know, something like this, and it makes us look silly. We cannot give them any fucking because we're already bad at messaging to begin with.
I think it's a thing of messaging. I don't think it's like that fire thing because that if we had good messaging to counteract that, then it wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem. The thing is that there's no messaging whatsoever of any kind in the Democratic side.
Mm.
And not only that, not to mention the actual progressives, they have so little people and the media is so against them that they can't get their message out there like these motherfucking corporate Democrats could, because the corporate Democrats are purposefully incompetent.
Obviously, look at
I gotta get out of here, my brother.
Oh, you do?
I do. Let's do the goodbyes. Who's on there? The
one guy.
One guy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not Canada. I am not writing the right thing.
Salam.
Salam. Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum. Oh, all right.
Alaikum salam, my brother.
The autotype, all right, automatically went to Hebrew.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah. Shalom to salam. It's like Pakistani, India. You know.
No, because these are actually brothers. The Muslim people and the Jewish people are brothers from the same father. You know that, right?
I mean, don't say that to them. Right? Don't say that to them.
You know that Abraham is the father of religions.
I'm not trying to get canceled.
You do know that, right?
Not trying to get canceled. Wink for yes.
God, it's so crazy because we literally, as the three main religions of this world, we literally come from the same dude.
Who?
Abraham.
Oh yeah, everything's Abraham.
That's what I'm saying.
Muslims, you think Jesus was a real guy? No. All right. I think like I don't think he was a real guy because the Romans documented everything, especially a crucifixion. Especially if they would crucify a politician who preached, that would definitely be recorded by the Romans.
And a thing that was recorded by the Romans was that during that time there was a lot of people that were like messianic preachers. There was a lot of them that called themselves the Messiah. There was a lot of people doing deeds and shit like that, claiming that miracles were being made. So I think that Jesus Christ is an amalgamation of like these
preachers,
prototypes.
Yeah, that all said the same shit.
Yeah, that all said the same thing. Yeah. Because at that time, there was a lot of expectation for the Torah to deliver, to deliver the Messiah and everything, and there was a lot of like political upheaval, What I'm saying?
Well, there was challenging of the Don't forget, like in the story, Jesus is basically the biggest socialist ever.
Ever.
He challenges the hierarchy.
Yeah.
And he gets killed for it.
Right. Right. And even if you don't want to call him a socialist, you can't deny that
he's definitely not a fucking conservative.
He's not a conservative. He's definitely not a capitalist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But people really struggle with that. Like they have a hard time kind of like consolidating the actual like things that Jesus that is said to have done with like their way of life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's unfathomable for people in society, especially conservatives, to like renounce capitalism. It's like That's not possible. So how could
Capitalism
Jesus?
triumphs the
Yeah.
teachings of Jesus
You know what I'm
Christ.
saying?
I love it. Yeah.
Like in their mind, it's like, how would capitalism exist if Jesus didn't want it to exist or
No.
something? You know what I'm saying?
I wonder what like society was like before. Like was before Jesus Christ. Like
it was feudalism, man. It was you know,
I can't believe
slavery.
we went from Anunnaki. No, that's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy. Those times are very well documented, and what it was.
Yo, you know we don't know a lot after the burning of the Library of Alexandria.
That's right.
There's a lot. We know the furthest
the Dark
back.
Ages came after that.
The furthest back we know is the Sumerians in 8,000 to 10,000 BC.
Right. Supposedly nothing came before that, which
Because
that's hard to believe.
No, definitely not. Because that's the
believe.
first alphabet we were able to understand. But we found like tablets with scripture that date much older than the fucking Sumerians.
Yeah,
There's no question about that. There's no debating that. That's a fact.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I believe that 100%. Like when this Earth has gone through like so many changes, type shit. That honestly, it's like it would be. It's a little arrogant of us as a society to really believe that we're the pinnacle of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're
culture creation.
If you don't believe in aliens, you're an asshole because you believe literally that this is the pinnacle of.
Yeah.
Like the universe is infinite. It's arrogant to think.
Yeah. If you don't think that life exists on other planets, it's like
you're an asshole.
Yeah. I not only that, but it's like the whole thing about like we said at the beginning, like when you believe in religion, it really like makes you forego that critical thinking part of your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like you purposely give it up. You know what I'm saying? Shit's crazy. Nothing against my brothers and sisters who are religious and all that shit, but that's just my opinion. I don't think that you guys are lesser or anything like that. I just think
that you're not using 100% of your brain.
Yeah, there's something there.
You are not using the full capacity of your brain.
I truly believe that, and I don't think that science is comparable to the belief in science is comparable to the belief in God. I think that's a what you would call it, straw man argument. Because that would presuppose that I have a binding belief in science, which I don't. I mean, in the fact in what science gives, because science
is that there's no such thing as a binding belief in science, because science is always being built on.
Yeah. It's
that's
always
the thing.
progressing.
Like, you believe science? Science can't answer this. Yeah, because we're trying to get there.
Yeah, like, but there's so much that science has answered.
Yeah,
and that it keeps evolving, and it keeps evolving because more evidence keeps on popping up on every single subject of every single thing that you can think of that we study as human beings. So it's very important to like be able to know how to receive new information and rethink what you believe in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pivotal. Religion doesn't allow you to do that.
It doesn't, because it has all the questions answered already. It's very limited.
It's very limited. Yeah. It's very limited, and to work upon faith and to work upon that's something that is just
that's like the argument.
It's taking a machete to your critical thinking.
That's like what the argument we got the other day. Like he could bring up anybody. The guy could have brought up any Bible verse that he fucking wanted.
Right.
There's no evidence.
Oh, the Bible.
It's like, the universe, and then it's always, the media, the universe, the universities, the fucking whatever's, they make up shit.
Oh, you mean knowledge? Oh,
knowledge? They made up? Okay.
You mean like shit that's real? Oh, my bad, sir. Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the
plugging you in.
Sometimes too many choices is hard. Try picking a paint color. Would it just be much better if that was 2 colors to pick from?
Well, we don't have time for that bullshit.
Well, we don't have just 2 colors to pick from, but yeah, I guess it would be alright. Peace, y'all. Villano music.
Oh,
no, don't worry about it.